plaintiff, Elijah Record, says the defendant trapped him into a relationship. And he claims not only did she give him an STD, but she was also controlling and physically abusive. He's suing her for emotional distress and a boat motor. Defendant Clara Havlick insists Elijah wanted to be in a relationship with her, and he's the one who was arrested for assaulting her. She's countersuing for rent, a loan, and emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
So me and Clara met on a dating website in 2019 called Bumble. On that website, she had posted that she was 19. I didn't find out till about a week before she turned 18 that she was 17 instead. 3 months after that, or maybe even, a month after that, she gave me an STD.
How long had you been dating?
About 4 months at that time, okay. And I hadn't been with anyone else. So
did it end then?
No.
You were that in love in 4 months? Okay, so you got past that, you forgave her, and then what was next?
Well, I'd say just the beginning of her controlling, my life in general was I wasn't allowed to hang out with my friends or anything, my roommate. And at one point when I had walked away from her, she grabbed me from behind and choked me out until I slumped to the ground, against the dresser. Well, this is assumed because I literally lost consciousness, but I woke up leaning against the dresser.
How long had you all been dating then?
About 9 months.
And anything else you want to give me background on before I move over to her?
When we finally did admit that it was a relationship, she disclosed to me that she had made it a goal of hers to get me into a relationship when I told her on the website or told her to the face that I didn't want a real relationship. And she's just trapped me into this thing that I've never wanted in the beginning.
When did you all decide it was a relationship?
About 4 months into it.
Okay, around the time she gave you the STD, I guess it would be. Let me hear from you, young lady.
Elijah is lying to you. Yes, there was an STD that was discovered.
So he wasn't lying. So he wasn't lying. Go ahead about that. What else?
No, he was not lying about that. Also about the choking out incident, we were staying with my parents at the time because the roommates, his friends that he's speaking of, he stopped hanging out with them because it was his roommate's sister's home and he was in debt to them for 2 months of rent, which forced him to move in with me and my parents. At the time, I was still a senior in high school. He was 27. He wanted to have a relationship with me. He has said that to me. Obviously, I had put a lot into him. I was letting him stay with me and my parents.
How did it go living with your parents?
Well, in the beginning, it was okay. It wasn't supposed to be for the 4 months that it turned into, or 6 months, I apologize, that it turned into. He was in and out of jobs at that time, and he didn't have a car either, so he was using my mom's car to get him to and from work. So him and my father they didn't like each other, but they were pretty indifferent. They kind of avoided each other.
What would have happened if your father had refused to allow him to stay there? What would your reaction have been, you think?
Well, funny that you mention it, that did occur. He gave Elijah an eviction notice. Then I kind of got trapped into signing a lease with Elijah because I needed him out of my parents' house, honestly, is why I signed that.
You didn't need to move in with him, no? You didn't need to, did you?
He didn't have enough money to pay for it on his own. Okay. I actually paid the
And he had no one else to stay. And he had no one else to stay with.
No.
So if he
that
didn't
would
stay
take
with
him
you,
in,
he
no.
would have been homeless. If he didn't stay with you, he would have been
Yes.
in a shelter, in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Let me hear from you, sir, and then we'll get to the boat motor that you're suing about. Yes, sir.
She requested that I get a place with her because she wanted to move out of her parents' house, and she felt it was the only way that she was going to be able to get out of there because she didn't have enough money. I literally make twice as much money. We can check on my evidence.
I don't need to check. If you made all this money, why were you living off of her and her parents?
Because she requested that I wait with them until we find a good place for ourselves.
How long did you stay there? How long did you stay?
About 4.5 months during COVID.
And so it took you 4.5 months to find a place to live?
Yes, totally.
What kind of place did you get?
We got a dual townhouse, a 2-story townhouse. Many of the places we had checked out, we went to look at, were completely run down. They said they were renovated, but they were halfway through the renovation.
So it took you 5 months to find something you liked.
Yes, and something that she
in the meantime, you lived off of them. All right.
She had made it a goal of hers to get me into a relationship, and she's just trapped me into this thing that I've never wanted in the beginning.
When did you all decide it was a relationship?
4 months into it.
Okay, around the time she gave you the STD, I guess it would be.
Defendant Clara Havlick is being sued by her ex-boyfriend, who claims Clara was physically abusive, and she gave him an STD.
Let's get to the motor, sir. Boat motor, how does she owe you for that?
She owes me at least $600 for the boat motor. We purchased the boat motor together from an old guy at from his home.
For how much?
The total cost for the motor was $900. She put in $300. I put in $600. Also, I purchased.
What was the agreement on ownership?
The person who keeps the motor has to repay the remaining balance.
You have to buy the other person out based on what they contributed in the beginning?
Correct.
All right, and so what did happen?
I requested for it back and she flat out said no. I also put money towards the boat battery, the seats, everything, the trailer wheels for the complete boat. Everything on the Fleet Farm receipts was for that boat.
Was there agreement on that?
No.
Okay, then what makes you think you can get money off of it now? There was no agreement.
No, I wasn't trying to say I wanted money for that. I was just saying, establishing why I believe I should have the motor is because I also put other money into the boat that she didn't.
Got it. All right. And the emotional distress part, how does she owe you for that?
Well, by belittling me for about 2 months, I'm not sure how long my symptoms were for having gonorrhea. I have a video clip at the end of my evidence page of her attacking me. Whenever I would try to be fun, have fun, she would just attack me. She's constantly she would attack. She had no fun in her. She's manipulated this whole, so many things against me. And that's
what type of things were you doing to upset her when you thought you were playing?
If you look at that clip, you can totally see it's a totally feasible joke. It's about a 7-second clip, Your Honor. I please request that you please watch it.
What?
Guys, watch.
What?
If I turn off the lights, she's like a reptile. She'll retreat into a corner.
That's all your emotional distress evidence? Sir?
No, sir, that was the beginning.
Any other evidence of emotional distress?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And ma'am, what do you want to say to that?
I wasn't hurting him with any malice. Did he seem to be upset by that? Can't you hear him laughing at the end of it?
Yes.
I don't believe that is emotional distress in any way.
Very good. And your counterclaim for rent, loan, and emotional distress is for what? How does he owe you?
Okay, so he owes me for rent.
How many months did he fail to pay?
4.
Okay, and what months were those?
What months?
Starting in March.
I paid March.
March until
April,
when?
May, June.
March was paid.
And I say May and June because I haven't been able to.
May into June. Did he give you a 30-day notice and moving out?
No. He
All
was
right.
actually arrested for domestic charges by the police.
Who was?
Elijah.
When was that?
In March.
March 6th.
I paid March rent and then I was arrested
That
on
was
6th.
after he filled my car with trash.
When did he remove his
eyes?
Okay, so, all right. So because he assaulted you or was arrested is why he didn't stay there.
I got a disorderly conduct. I was not arrested for assault.
I got it, I know. Your emotional distress is for what?
Well, the emotional and physical abuse throughout our relationship.
You have any police reports?
I don't have a police report.
Do you have a letter from your dad or your mom?
I have a chiropractic
saying what?
Papers saying the results of my injuries from when he threw me down the stairs.
All right, and what page is that on?
That is on page 17.
And at one point when I had walked away from her, she grabbed me from behind and choked me out until I slumped to the ground, like against the dresser. Well, this is assumed because I literally lost consciousness, but like I woke up leaning against the dresser.
How long had you all been dating then?
About 9 months.
Defendant Clara Havlick is being sued by her ex-boyfriend, who claims Clara was physically abusive, and she gave him an STD.
You say he hit you?
He picked me up and like threw me over his shoulder. I ended up hitting the back of my head, so I like down my back, and my back, like the occipital lobe is what the chiropractor told me I hit because my lights, my vision went like all white and then but like black, and then I went back to seeing, so they said because I hit my head so hard that's what caused that.
That's not the incident he was arrested and went to jail for?
No.
Why didn't he?
I was scared because he told me I couldn't pay the rent on my own and that I couldn't do anything on my own because
Ma'am, this has been since February. You could have filed by now. This has been since February. I'm sure. Did you tell your parents? And what did they say to you? Did they say stay there and let him do that to you because you can't pay the rent?
Did your parents ever see any abusive relationship from me to you?
I didn't want.
Why would your parents allow me to stay with you if I was always abusive?
Because listen to him, he's scary.
You can flip the switch just like that. We've seen it in the video.
You
lie all the time. You manipulate all the time. It is clear.
And I don't see anything in the report showing what your injuries were from. I see a lot of back stuff.
He told me to go in and tell them that I fell down the stairs because then if I didn't,
so you lied to the doctors? So you lied? Okay. I don't know how to help you guys. He denies it, and you said you lied about it, so I don't know how to help you on that. However, the rent amount, you have any last words, sir, about the rent? Last remarks?
Yes, she had me kicked out. If you check on page...
She should have. You went to jail. I'll give you $300, so you're part of the boat. And yours is granted. Have a good day. Minus, ma'am, the emotional distress. Not going to grant you that. $1,590 for the rent and the loan. Have a good day. That's my decision.
This is absolutely ridiculous. The manipulation and that's...
Hey, Elijah, you. I'm happy you got this on national television, you lying.
Look at you. Look at you. You're a psychotic
abuser.
On national television. Look at you. You're so ridiculous.
Plaintiff Octavia Funches says the defendant is her cousin, but they get into it every 3 weeks because the defendant is crazy. Octavia is suing her cousin today for the balance due on a loan. Defendant Tamika Beverly says Octavia has the biggest heart, and she loves everybody, especially young men. Tamika insists Octavia is suing her prematurely.
Start with you.
Hey, how you doing today? My name is Octavia, and that's my cousin Tamika.
All right.
Back.
Have you all gotten along over the years as cousins?
We get into it like every 3 weeks or so. She's crazy.
Hold on. All the way from the past, you all have gotten into it. All the time.
Like since we've been older, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we just into it like 3 weeks ago because she's crazy. She'll flip out on you in a minute. Sometimes she could be real nice and sweet, and then she'll flip out.
Sounds like she's my cousin.
Yeah, probably so. Probably so. So she'll do something like, she's really sweet. She'll do something for you, and then, like, maybe when she gets her drink, she'll flip out on you. So, like, maybe a few months ago, I had a little issue that was a bit embarrassing that I needed some help with. And I don't know if I want to say it.
Somebody for her to jump on?
Nah,
what
I do the jumping. I do the jumping for her. She called me for that.
Goes off, flips out.
Nah, yeah, she do. No,
so
that's what she do.
You needed help, so call the flip out person when you need help. You're not telling me.
She just talk. So I had hemorrhoids or whatever, so I couldn't get nobody to help me with it. I thought she was doing it out of her, the kindness of her heart.
Oh, you had what?
A hemorrhoid.
So nobody wanted to.
You need help?
Yeah, with the medicine. I couldn't do it. So listen,
I'm going to leave it alone, but let me assure you can.
That's what I'm getting at. I couldn't do it. So I'm thinking she wanted to do it out of the kindness of her heart. Like maybe 30 minutes later, I get notifications on Facebook. She put the whole thing on Facebook.
Oh.
So she'll make you think that she doing something nice, and then she'll do something shady after it.
I know she didn't do that.
I wish I could pull it up. It's probably still on there.
Put that on Facebook.
It was funny. It wasn't like a big deal like that. We
so you showed her behind?
No, I just put like a post up. I would never take.
Of what?
Of what happened?
You have it.
No.
What happened was you helped her with her hemorrhoids.
I thought she wanted to make
so in order to, that's what the picture has to be.
It wasn't a picture, it was just a post talking about it, like how
talking about it.
Okay. So I thought she wanted to do it to be helpful, but the whole time she wanted to do it to be funny.
Get some likes.
Yeah. And she got a lot of them too, because she.
You better be lucky she didn't take a picture to get some likes.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't take a picture. I was watching her.
That's why I wouldn't have been surprised. That's why I'm asking.
She recorded everything.
You put her bare behind on there?
She recorded everything I was watching, so I already know how she is with the recording. She records everything. But that's what I mean. Because I wouldn't have did it for her anyway. If it was to be nice or not, I wouldn't have did it for her. That's what I mean. Like, she would do stuff, and then
that is embarrassing. Why would you embarrass her like that?
We have fun. We joke.
That is funny.
Yeah, that's all.
That is funny.
That's all.
That is funny.
We get into it like every 3 weeks or so. She's crazy.
Hold on. All the way from the past, you all have gotten into it.
Like since we've been older, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we just into it like 3 weeks ago because she's crazy. She'll flip out on you in a minute. Sometimes she could be real nice and sweet, and then she'll flip out.
Sounds like she's my cousin.
Yeah, probably so. Probably so.
Plaintiff Octavia Funches is suing her cousin, who claims Octavia has a big heart and loves everybody, especially young men.
What else you want to tell me about you all's relationship? That's only one instance, and that was playful.
Oh, I got too many. We'll be here till next week if I tell you all of them. I want to hear
something. Well, I don't want to hear. I'm hoping there's not a lot of mess that goes on.
I know. We'll get into it, and we'll be back in like maybe a few days. Like we was just into it like 3 weeks ago, and she still was picking my kids up from school. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it don't get to the point where we have to fight each other.
Or curse each other out.
Yeah. Oh, no, we curse. Oh, we real bad with that. Oh, yeah. We real bad with that.
How long do you all stay apart after a good cursing out?
Probably like
a day or two.
The last time it was
you all not cursing.
The last time it was longer than that, but
yeah.
Well, you all not cursing each other out as much as me and my cousin.
Nah, I
got one cousin, we curse each other out at least 6 months, and then we don't speak for 6 months to a year.
Nah, because I don't stay mad.
Right now we're in the non-speaking mode.
No kidding.
Over something very minor.
That's too long.
You ain't at it.
Yeah, he texts me, tells me to watch this preacher on TV, and I say no. So then we get into a debate, and then he says some crazy stuff. He says, well, yeah, do you still smoke pot and do such and such? And Breaking people out. Some stuff I used to do when I was a teenager. I say, yeah, I do all of that. Now, what? I still do it all. I say, do you still such and such? So we going back. So he goes and he hits me a little too low. So I say something and then I block him immediately so he can't get me back. And I ain't talking to him, and I'm not talking to you for another 6 months. So y'all like that, but you all do 3 days, 5 days. You don't go.
We don't stay
You don't go 6 months.
Nah.
Y'all must not hit each other.
on
Lord.
one letter.
Good. Glad to hear that. All right, you give me some background.
Okay, well, this is my little cousin, Octavia. I love her so much. She has the biggest heart, Your Honor. This girl have a big heart. She love everybody, especially young men.
Younger than her?
Younger than her, and she 30, so she love them.
Hold on, how young now? Is this illegal?
Not that young.
Oh.
She got sons, so she ain't gonna mess with nobody that young. But like her motto is, if he ain't 23, he ain't for me. So that's her slogan, you know. And she live bad, so.
Men do the same thing.
Well, that's Octavia.
65-year-olds are like 23-year-olds. So.
She had this one little young boy. He was like 23, 24, and then he had a little brother. And I'm her big cousin. And the little brother was trying to talk to me. So I played along. I locked my phone in as granny, like grandma, so he could know.
Oh, Lord.
That's Octavia thing. Nah, man. When I say she have a big heart, she do. Like, let's just say your mama put you out the house. Everybody in the family could come live with Octavia.
That happens frequently.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All the crackheads in the family live with Octavia. She have a big heart. She love.
All of them don't live with.
Yeah, all of them. Everybody. Everybody that's going through something. Everybody that's going through something could live in her house. That's what I'm saying. She got a big heart. And that's how that's how she end up giving me the loan. You know what I'm saying? Because she have a big heart.
She's been blessed enough to loan you $4,000 because of her good heart.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? She got the money from the little boy. So I guess the little well done ran dry. He ain't around no more. So now we into it. Because we was cool. It wasn't this bad of an issue that we had to be here in front of you talking about all our family business.
She don't think it's bad enough of an issue. She gave me $400. Now, we never
What was the loan for?
48, but she gave me 400, so she owed me 44.
When did you loan her the money?
In the beginning of March.
When did she agree to repay?
We never said a definite date because we both get money from each other.
Well, that hasn't been very long.
No, that's the issue.
When did she?
She told me to get it back in blood. She told me she's not giving me nothing. Get it back in blood because I'm.
She did give you something. She gave you $400.
Yes, in March.
How did you expect for her to pay you?
She makes really, really good money.
Okay.
Yes, and she don't have an issue with money because she goes shopping a lot. I'm seeing her buy Yeezys, get her hair did, buy expensive perfume, doing all this stuff. But when I ask you for my money, it's I'll give it back to you. Then she'll go drink a little drink, come beat it out of me, come make me give it to you. That's where we at this point.
She switched up.
Plaintiff Octavia Funches is suing her cousin, who claims Octavia has a big heart and loves everybody, especially young men.
What do you want to tell me, ma'am?
We never had a definite date. Me and Octavia, we do stuff for each other all the time. I do stuff for her, she do stuff for me. Our kids, everything. We family. So,
how much have you ever loaned her $4,800?
Not at once.
Or then you don't do the same thing. She says you make plenty of money. You make plenty of money?
If that's how she feel.
Tell the truth.
How do you feel?
I feel like I make money that I have to take care of my kids and my household. So
do you believe
I have more kids than her.
Huh?
You don't believe you make plenty of money?
She knows
I make enough to take care of what I have to take care of, and I'm gonna.
No, you don't. You had to borrow from her. Why'd you borrow?
Because I didn't have it.
Right. So you don't make enough to take care of your responsibilities. You said she had plenty of money. She said she don't even have enough to take care of her basic responsibilities.
So how does she buy Yeezys? You know how much Yeezys cost?
I don't know. I think about that nonsense.
That's what I'm saying.
She buy no fake Yeezys. Yeah, they cost $25 on the internet.
No, she paid $500. She ordered them off StockX. Tamika, how much did you pay for
When
Yeezys?
did she buy them?
When was this?
When?
Has it been a month yet? Not even a month.
Okay. Well,
so if a person owe you money and they buy some $500 shoes.
You purchased gym shoes for $500 last month?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Yes, sir.
All right,
sorry.
so you did have money to pay her. You didn't get you no video games to go with it? Jersey? How about a jersey?
No, sir.
Oh, you ain't no kid. You're supposed to sit up, if you're gonna get some gym shoes, some $500 gym shoes, you gotta get the video games. You gotta get the jersey to say somebody's name.
I never said I wasn't ever going to pay her.
You put your feet up, you go in your den, you put your feet up, and you get on that.
Yeah.
Get him, I'm gonna get you. Let me fix my jersey. See, I got number 5, Allen Iverson original. You're gonna do it right.
I never said I wasn't going to pay her. I just haven't made another payment.
You just had to pay Yeezy first. All right, you had to pay him first. Make him a billionaire, make her poor. Got it. Judgment for the plaintiff. See how your values are? $4,400. I hope everybody else heard that. All right, good luck to you both. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Well, I can't believe that we had to come to court to settle this. I feel like we could have settled it outside of court.
No, because I didn't want to fight you. I didn't want to get in blood, so.
Plaintiff Francina Wilds says the defendant is her daughter, and she claims her daughter has gotten so involved in drugs and alcohol that she's become a thief and attempted to become a drug dealer. Francina suspects the defendant is an alcoholic who's also addicted to marijuana, and she's suing her today for stolen money. Defendant Brianna Wilds denies that she's an alcoholic, but admits that she has a problem with marijuana. Brianna admits that she stole money from her mother, but after she smoked 1.5 pounds of marijuana she intended to sell, she needed to pay off her drug dealer.
Tell me what happened.
First of all, I just want to say I love my daughter. I never wanted to bring her here, but she's just become a stranger to me. I don't even know her anymore. She's gotten so involved in drugs and alcohol that she's turned into a liar, a thief, and most recently, an attempted drug dealer.
What type of drugs?
Marijuana.
You sure that's all it is? Marijuana doesn't do all that to you.
I told her it sounds more like crack, but I hope it's just marijuana.
Okay, give me some examples of her destructive behavior that causes you so much concern.
It started probably around 7th grade. I suspected that she had started smoking the marijuana. It was, she was coughing all the time. I started getting phone calls from teachers about her being disruptive and sleeping in class, things like that. And then fast forward to a few years later, she was taking my second car while I was at work, didn't have a license or anything, and she would, just stay out late. Sometimes I didn't know where she was. She would lie about where she was, and sometimes not come home at all. I'm spending the night here, but she was really somewhere else. And then just most recently, I knew about the marijuana. She's been to counseling for that, and most recently I discovered that it's also alcohol. Last month I bought a bottle of rum. It was the large bottle of Malibu. I hadn't even cracked the seal, so I was going to make a drink a couple weeks ago, and the whole bottle was gone. So when I confronted her about it, she told me she drank it all in one night. And that's when I realized that
that's a problem.
Yes.
Young lady?
Sir?
Do you want to respond to what your mother said, or you want to just say it's all true?
It's true.
All of it?
I don't believe I'm an alcoholic. She believes I'm an alcoholic.
How often do you drink?
I just smoke more than I drink, to be honest with you.
How often do you drink?
Very seldom.
But yet you can down a fifth or half a gallon in one night by yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right, that sounds like somebody who has a problem. She thinks you're alcoholic, so do I.
It's funny, but it's not a laughing matter. I really want to get her some help. She's not a bad person. She's very smart. She's an intelligent girl.
You want help?
Yes, sir. I know something's wrong with me, but I really don't think it's an alcohol problem.
Or a weed problem? You think you have a weed problem?
I have a weed problem.
You can't stop smoking?
No.
And you smoke every day?
Just about, yeah.
Plaintiff Francina Wilds is suing her daughter because she stole 19 checks from Francina. But the defendant claims she simply stole the checks because she needed to pay off her drug dealer.
If you wanted to stop, you could not. Or when you've tried, you've been unable.
No. Yes, sir.
And what do you intend to do about it?
I want to go to a rehab program, but I'm not sure if what her suggestions would be the best thing for me.
What are her suggestions?
She's trying to send me off for months for my problem, and I don't feel like, I mean, now isn't the time to do it. I'm 19. She could have did it before.
How long have you been a weed head?
I've been smoking since 6th grade.
I know, but how long have you been a weed head, addicted to weed?
Since high school, beginning of high school.
When you
because I've just came to terms with myself. I have to admit to myself that I'm addicted first.
When did you admit?
A couple months ago.
All right, so that's when you should have sought out some type of facility.
Yes, sir.
And you haven't. She has, and you've come up with this excuse, well, I want to go, but I just don't want to go where she wants me to go. You don't sound sincere. Why are you suing her for $27.55 in stolen money?
On her birthday, October 26th, it was her 19th birthday, I was checking my bank account online and I noticed that the balance was unusually low. And when I started to go through, I saw a bunch of checks. And I don't really write checks, maybe one a month. You know, it's like one every couple days. She had been writing checks to herself. Apparently, she got a hold of one of my checkbooks and wrote 19 checks. And
what was the total amount?
The total amount of the checks was $27.15.
Over the course of what time period?
2 months. And then actually the day before I found out, she also stole my ATM card out of my purse and took $80.
I got news for you. 2 months, $2,755 is more than weed. There isn't that much weed in the world.
That's what I told her.
That's not weed. What do you want to tell me? What's your defense? What do you have to say?
Well, Your Honor, it's not all peaches and cream. I just want to start back, and I'm not blaming this incident on why I'm the way I am, but my mother, she wasn't really in my life for the first half years of my life. My grandmother raised me until I was 11, until she passed away. Then I went under the supervision of my mom.
Your mother wasn't living in the household there?
Off and on, she was around my dad a lot, or wherever she was at. She wasn't with me.
With my ex-husband, her father.
Go ahead.
Okay. So over the summer, you know, I was with some acquaintances and...
Why wasn't she with you? You and her father were together.
We were
Why
married.
wasn't she with you all?
We were married, but not for long. We've been divorced since 1999. It's not that I wasn't in her life. I had her when I was 17. I was trying to go to school, and my mom did help me out. You know, that's not the first time that a parent has helped a child out. So, you know, I was a child myself when I had her. I was trying to work and go to school, and I've gone to school. You know, I've worked 2 jobs, Brianna, and going to school at the same time. I just got my master's 2 months ago.
You believe your destructive behavior was as a result of not having your mother in your life?
No, sir, that's not the blame. I mean, I take responsibility of my actions. It could be.
Yeah, it could be. A lot of psychologists would say that. Go right ahead, though.
Okay.
She wasn't in your life much. What else?
Well, over the summer, I was around some people, and a friend of mine's older brother was like, you know, I was out of work, and I was trying to figure out a way to get, you know, a little cash. He was like, you know, why don't you just sell some weed? He fronted me about £1.50 pounds.
Did you tell him you were a weed head?
I mean, I smoked with them before, so I mean.
That's like giving a crackhead crack to sell. That's like saying to a crackhead, here, take this 8-ball, sell it, and bring me back my money. They couldn't possibly expect to get their money back. Go ahead. So you decided to sell £1.50 pounds of weed.
Yes, sir. And it didn't go as I thought it would.
I know it didn't. What happened? Watch this. What happened?
I smoked it. I sold what I sold.
Over what time period did you smoke £1.50 pounds?
I couldn't even tell you honestly.
I know you can't. You didn't smoke your memory away, which is one of the primary side effects of marijuana abuse. So you went and stole your mother's money to pay for that £1.50 pounds that you smoked up?
Well, yeah, after he fronted me the marijuana, I owed him money, apparently. I seen one of her checkbooks laying around, and we bank with the same bank, so I was nervous at first, but I didn't think that it would have been as easy as it was. I lived with her.
Ma'am, you're not using any other drugs?
No, sir.
I haven't heard of many people stealing to obtain marijuana. Marijuana doesn't even cost that much.
No.
How much is a joint? You know, how much a joint costs today?
Like $10, $15.
$10. A joint don't cost $10. Does a joint cost $10?
Plaintiff Francina Wilds is suing her daughter because she stole 19 checks from Francina. But the defendant claims she simply stole the checks because she needed to pay off her drug dealer.
Ma'am, your daughter admits to it. She says she smoked up 1.5 pounds. I don't believe that. She was doing something else with that money. Isn't that much weed in the world to smoke?
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt. I do want to get help for her. I don't think an outpatient is good for her because I know what she's going to do if she goes there just during the day and then comes home. She's going to do the same thing, but just maybe like a 30-day facility, but we don't. She doesn't have insurance right now. And
well, first we have to start off at the point of she wants to.
She told me that she did.
But she could be lying. See, that's what people tell you when you come down on, I want some help. Can you give me some help? I got the disease.
Yes.
That's what they do. But then they say, oh, baby, okay, mama, no. Come on, give mama a hug. Oh. And then they walk away and say, that was easy.
Yeah.
This is when they want help.
Yes.
When they say, Mama, can you find me a place? Or they say, Mama, I'm at my lowest point. I'm going to find me a place. And then they do. They come and tell you what they're going to do, not what they feel like doing.
Yes.
You got me?
Yes.
A lot of times that's just game. They're running that game on you to make you feel sorry because they figure if they make you feel sorry, you'll let up on them. And they can keep doing their thing. So you gotta wait until she's ready. Good luck to you, ma'am. Judgment for the plaintiff. When you're ready to stop the game and go, you'll find a place. Otherwise, you'll keep gaming your mother. But I'm not gonna be part of that. Have a good day.
Thank
Judgment
you.
for the plaintiff.
You know, it's obvious that you have a problem and you do need help. I mean, right now, not whenever you feel like it. You know, I know that I don't want you to go down the wrong road. I don't want anything bad to happen to you because you're not a bad person. You can do so much more.
I mean, I want to say what I've been saying. I'm sorry, and it feels like you're not even trying to forgive me for it. You're just badgering me about the same thing over and over and over. It's the same anger that it was before. It's not like...
You saying you're sorry doesn't change what you did.
We recently spoke with plaintiff Francina Wilds, who told us that a year after their case, her daughter, defendant Brianna Wilds, moved out of her home and learned to fend for herself. Francina said that she and Brianna are close now, and Brianna has slowed her drinking and pot smoking and is more responsible. Francina feels that being on her own has helped Brianna mature, and she now has a son whom Francina sees at least twice a week. We tried reaching Brianna, but were unable to do so. So if you're watching, please give us a call